Hello and welcome back to another session of Google.rs. It's Byron speaking. And in the previous session, we have been dealing with the CargoLock implementation. We have improved it to the point where I think it can be used in cargo. And there might even be more at some point to make this work. Speaking of which, I think I will have to put in an override because now I want to use my local file lock, and previously I don't think I did that. So let's do that. I will do this off screen so that secrets are not spilled. Just a moment. Cargo config. Hyper is already overridden because it recently broke. And now CargoLock is overwritten as well. Awesome. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm still wondering, we are still not providing, actually we should do that right now. We're still not providing the file, which we should do. Let's have a file mut because a file in read-only mode doesn't really help. File mut self shall return a mut file. And what do we do? Do we want to fail or do we want to put an optional there? We could put out an optional because that would be as simple as file as mut for us. And I guess that's really what we have, because that file is only set if that file is only set when lock was called. And we are missing all the documentation right now. But I will do this once I have something going on in cargo. So let's quickly add this. Do we use the path? By the way, I can query the path here from our file. So P is used where? So path is actually, look, path is cloned. Let's clone it here as well, then I don't need to mess around with P. And we could even try FL path clone just to use it. We will never consume our original path. So here we can go with path and path and path. All right, and why not use it and try to write something in there? FL file unwrap write hello. I think that could work. Could it? Will it? We will see. Pub fn like that. Oh yeah, I have to obviously import write. Let's do it just here. Use std io write. Common source for errors. Oops, something was happening here. Unused results which must be used. Yes. I expect this to work. Unwrap. And it does work. Awesome. So that was that. Maybe I pushed this already, so file lock added file method. This allows access to the contained file for reading or writing. So you will write documentation about that soon. For now, it will just be this. Cool. Now, cargo. I started to sketch out some cargo stuff just for the fun of it. I might also just want to... Well, I will reread it. I don't want... That's all my stuff here, right? Yeah. So, let's find a good place for this. I think there is some support. Test support. Okay, that's just for tests. We need something else. Where would we put this? It's a file lock. It's quite general. It's maybe core, dependency manifest, package, shell, source, summary. Resolver is not for us. Ops, also not for us. So that's the operations that it can do. Mod, registry, resolve, util. Here, util. That's it. That's where you want to put our lock. To URL, summer profile. I think a new file would be doing it. Lock.rs. You will put our cargo compatible file lock. And let's have a look at how such a file is set up. Okay. Just, yeah, the copyright I probably want to add here. Might have been a lucky accident that I found a... yeah, why did I find a file? Lav distance. Ah, that's probably copyright information for the lav distance. Yeah, okay, so let's not do it then. Okay, errors I want. I like this file. Yeah. So let's not use it then because it doesn't seem to be very common. Notes. Oh, actually that's my notes. Let's keep them open for now. Yeah, and all the rest I will just close. Even though file lock, do I use file lock? I thought I did. Ah, yeah, here it is. Oh, I used the one. Yeah, I used the one from Git right now just to make this work. Sure, it's my one. Branch API adjustment. Okay, so that's configured correctly already. And then we have util mod. Yeah, mods come below uses. Interesting. But not always, huh? I don't know. SHA-256. I think I didn't completely understand this yet. Yeah, okay, anyway. Let's see how it's named. CLI error, process error, cargo, result, CargoLock. I could use a CargoLock as a name here. Oh yeah, and by the way, lib.rs, file lock I already bring in. Good. So I can just use file lock. Oops. File lock. Unfortunately, compile times will be quite massive. I already hate it. And now that I have messed this one up, it will also not work. So I guess I want to first deal with this file lock separately. So maybe I just copy this for now. Just drop it here, hidden, so that I can check out this file. Div current file. I think, see, so I fixed some error here. Damn it. I fixed some typos that I found. But anyway, let's check it out. Maybe the typos I will also find if I just put on the type checker. See, layout there. Yeah, I can do this in a separate pass if I want to contribute my awesome typo fixes later. Attempt. Yeah, I think that's the ones I found. Good. Anyway, so use file lock. And here in the mod we use, how do I call this? It's pub struct CargoLock. Let's call it inner because it's an inner lock that is of type file lock, and that's really all. So now we can start using it. Is there some particular order? No, not really. So mod lock pub use self lock cargo lock. So cargo lock will use the cargo config here. Yeah, let's see how that works. How do you access the super? How do they do it? Self config value. Oh, look, you can rename stuff. I kind of forgot that. Use this is how you rename your own types. Really? Awesome. I didn't know that worked. Cool, I learned something again. Probably not the last time. And that's how you get stuff from your own package, kind of. This is also something I don't currently understand. You know, because you're kind of like in the module itself, and you can behave as if you were the module. So you can use, well, I don't know, it's kind of using your parent directly. But here, that's how you get kind of internal stuff, and that's how we do it as well. So we don't use super, we just use util and then config, for instance, because the config we want. Config shall be, and now we need some, I think I have seen this at some point, so we will do the same thing, cfg, and then use util config, right? Yeah, that's where it will be. So here's the config, and we are good. Cool, so that's the type. I think we have a config and the file log, and with that we'll just implement everything. Let's see if that does anything useful. And also it will be interesting to see how long it takes to compile that. It should just compile it. Oh, there's the file log. I'd use my local version. Awesome, it's already done. And where was that? That was in registry, huh? Open. Yeah, wow. Okay, so let's try to, in the meanwhile, get rid of a few things we don't need. Registry ops. Yeah, just get rid of it, and we will reopen it when needed. I don't think we need that either. Cool, so it's primarily about these things. Are we done yet? Oh, we are done yet. Struct file, oh yeah, so warnings are errors. Damn it, can I disable that? Deny unused. Yeah, fine, but I think the rest worked. So that's a bit tougher to develop this. Deny. Config editor test, deny warnings. But only in test mode? That's interesting. Can I disable this? Sure, I can. I'll disable this for now. I just must be careful to not actually commit this. But I think I'm good. We'll be fine. So, do it again. Cool. So that's what I wanted to see. That's our basic structure. Now we can import the CargoLock it's fn new, obviously, CargoLock, which gets a config and actually we have to do it like this, right? So a config with that lifetime which returns a valid cargo lock that lives as long as the config, at least. And the config we need to get information about the type of locking that we want. Do we want to block and wait, or do we want to abort? And maybe there are multiple things. We can abort on lock failure. Well, actually, there's not multiple things. When we can't lock, we always abort. Okay, so here we go. CargoLock config is config, and now inner. That's going to be interesting because we have to define the access mode, right? And this is going to be, yeah, maybe we do an, yeah, I'm not sure. We could use the access mode because we need that now, right? Do we want to, I mean, let's make an exclusive lock. New exclusive, new shared. Let's make this explicit. CargoLock exclusive, like this. And then we know that the file lock we want to create will be, oh yeah, we need a path as well. Let's just take a path buff here. Path buff. Which ordering do they have? STD first, then everything else, then their stuff. Makes sense. Use STD path buff. Thank you. So there we go. The first thing is the path. And then I think it's just the access mode. So in exclusive mode, we have access mode. We have access mode. Right. And that is that. That should just work, right? We will have a non-exclusive one as well. Let's just add it in the meanwhile, which is shared. That works. Read. Nice. Good, and now we can implement the rest, which shall be the lock and unlock. Yeah, so here's, yeah, I think considering unlock will be called anyway, I'm not sure if I actually want to call this explicitly. Maybe I want, if the resource is just temporary, or I use scope for this. I would rather use scoping for this. So let's just have a lock method for now. And everything else we will expose as we need it, like the path or the file, because the file lock can do more. Or we have an as inner, but if it's not used, we don't want it, so we only add it if we need it. But it would be something like exposing our inner lock so that maybe path stuff can be accessed. Yeah, we will see about that. For now, all we need is a lock mat self, which returns, and that's the important part, which returns a result of some kind. And that should now be a cargo result so that it integrates nicely. So let's have a look at the config, because that uses cargo result. See, cargo result. And the error type is just a box something, and we need to have a conversion from the error there to a cargo kind of error. And that should also be easy enough. And we have to think about chaining too, but let's try to do it in a step-by-step fashion. Oh yeah, the cargo result we get from util as well. Chain error. Yeah, where's chain error used? Not used at all. But chain error might also be just a trait, huh? Yeah, that's just a trait. Ah, yeah. And we have a chained error, which is not used here. Chain error. Try. So basically this attaches another error to the low profile error that you get. So if you can't get the current dir, then we say get some additional information about the error, which will then be called when needed, right? Chain error. And the callback, I don't know when it's called actually. When is the callback called? Here, for instance, it's called. Yeah, I think that's one way to save resource because it's only called if there is an error or something like that. I think that's the idea behind that. All right. So it's a cargo result. And I think all we have to do is to now check the configuration for whether or not we are scrape target deal, scrape tool config. So that's the stuff we want. Yeah, so you would need some information about whether or not we want to abort. Do we have enums here to do stuff? Values loaded. Apparently it's very good in interior mutability because that thing seems to be shared among multiple guys, but that's okay, fine with me. It's probably for laziness reasons, so that work is only done on first access. Makes sense. Anyway, let's see. There's not. Yeah, I think whenever it tries to get to use get. Get key, get list, get table. So that's just, yeah, so everyone can access the configuration and ask for anything, but there are a few selected keys that are cached, right? And that's mainly it. Target dir. Where did I see it? It was build dot something. Ah, it's get string actually. Okay. Self get. Where do we do this? Get tool. Okay, so build tool. Get tool. So that's basically the only thing that we want to access here. I don't even know where to put it. Build target dir. Build. Yeah, I don't know where to put it. For now, we might just try to set something up. Yeah, to cache it. I think build. Is it related to build? It's related to everything. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't think about it too long. let's for now just have an enumeration, which is never used here. They don't use enums here. I prefer enums just to be sure about this, right? So what kind of type it is. Block enum. We could return a file lock stuff, right? Is blocking and non-blocking lock kind, which already has implementations for stringifications and stuff. So yeah, let's use it then. I don't even have to alter this. I could also just access the string all the time, but maybe I don't want that. Maybe I just... I don't know. It's more like a caching thing. Let's not use it for now. Let's not cache stuff. Even though whenever they access their own stuff, they cache it. For some reason. Why do they cache this and not the other things? Is accessing this too slow? Shouldn't be. Also, they do it right away, right? They don't delay that. Yeah. Yeah, let's just use getString. And getString, what does it return, by the way? Cargo getList optional cargo result. So cargo result, yeah, that obviously works in try mode. Yeah, so let's try that. Self CFG getString. Let's call it lock build lock kind. You know, we can change this at any time. Build lock kind. So that gives us possibly this value, but I think I want to do unwrap or, so we default to yeah, we will convert this to a string, because here what do we get, by the way? Get string. Do we get a... Yeah, we get a real string. Okay, let's do unwrap or else. So here we have a function that shall return a lock kind non-blocking, because that's kind of what it did before, but in a non-graceful manner. Non-blocking as ref. Yeah, that's exactly that. Get string, unwrap or else, non-blocking as ref. So then now we have a default string if necessary, and then we try to parse that. Into an access, into a lock kind. Let kind lock kind be this. Now we parse it, which is also in a try block like that. And now obviously we have to provide conversions from a log error. Let's bring it up. st source flock. Did I change something here? Shouldn't. So yeah, we have this error and we want to have a conversion from this error to a cargo error, which might already work. Let's see. Cargo error. Yeah, we have to box it. Chain error. Yeah, we might also have to implement display now in order to work correctly. Yeah, okay, so that's kind of how we would get the lock kind. For now, I just return OK here. Also knowing that our error really wants to be converted. Do they implement from somewhere? From cargo error for CLI error. So that's yeah, and here's the conversion. Here's the default conversion that they do. This is something we would have to do ourselves. So we just box that stuff. So from our own type. Wait, what do we do? Impl from our own type to a box cargo error. And that will be a perfectly valid cargo result, right? Because cargo result has a box cargo error. Makes sense. And we just box our instance. And that's what we do. All right, let's do this. Impl from, yeah, let's bring it in. I think I have to use file lock flock error as file lock error. Now the renaming comes in handy. Yeah. From file lock as for cargo error. Do I have it? Util? No. Cargo error. That's actually quite comfortable to use the symbols that way for cargo error. It's also great that you never have cyclic problems usually. Actually, never happened for me. Only once when I kind of misused modules altogether. Okay, so here we go. So fn from an instance, which is a file lock error, and we return actually a box return self, right? Yeah, that's all. That is that. Anything else? No. So we just return a box new t, and we have that implementation. So now in theory, we should be able to parse this, and if parsing fails, we get the respective error. And we probably want to chain this. So the chain error stuff, once we have a cargo error, yeah, let's see where chain error is done and how this works. I think in config. So try chain error. So env current dir, chain error is implemented for this stuff. Why? Why is it implemented? Chain error. So chain error is implemented for callbacks. For result, for results where cool, they don't specialize the types here. Oh no, they do. Where E is a cargo error. Or a box cargo error. But this is not, or an optional. What does env current dir return? Maybe it's an optional that it returns. Current dir. Result path buff. Is path buff having a conversion? Or NI, oh, I think that one is done. Might as well schedule the upload. However, this is NIO result, which has an IO error, but chain error. But it's not directly int, where E is cargo error plus static. Is cargo error also a trait? Yes. So maybe that's why that can possibly work. Because that's a trait. And cargo error is implemented for boxed cargo errors. But all of this we don't really have. I don't know why chain really works there. So cargo error for chain error. I wonder if my thing is now automatically a cargo error. Okay, let's first see if that compiles, because I think it should. Yeah, damn it. And I might have to, oh yeah, what's a cargo error, by the way? It needs to implement error. And interestingly, this could kind of break my neck, because this box new thing doesn't work if I do not have error implemented. Totally not. And sand and static, that only kind of works for boxes. Yeah, but I need display anyway, so long story short, I need to implement display. Description, detail. It kind of will ripple through everything. Okay, let's try to build that just once, even though I don't think it will work yet. Make test. No. Undeclared use of type name cargo result. That was quick. That's good. Yeah, so I expect display to be... Oh, wow. All right. The trait cargo error is not implemented. Okay, attempted to access field config on type, but no field. Yeah, sorry. So that's maybe a good starting point. Yeah, so cargo error is not implemented for file log error, just because cargo error will only be implemented for these guys. But why does it need to be implemented? Yeah, so let's try again. Self-config get string unwrap or else. Oh, get string will also provide like different things. Get string, I want to just access one field here. Try, this will return a tuple, an optional tuple with two things in there. And with two strings, actually. Shit. Ugh. Yeah, so that's totally wrong. So I want to convert this. Get string map item. I want the first one, and this will now change the type to something that I can use. And as ref. So now the types should match. Try this. Then you map it, give me the first thing. If this is still, okay, that's that. If this is something, fine, otherwise default to this, then we parse it. Do I have to place some here, unwrap or else? Let's see. Gee. There are many. Actually, unwrap or else might not be needed here. Okay. This returns the type itself. Alright. That's alright. Unwrap or is probably what I want here, because sref is cheap. Unwrap or. There we go. And then we parse it, which we also try. So let's try that again. Maybe that's even better now. I don't know. So, on an option. On an option. So is there a better way to map stuff? If T is the option itself, show me what kind of mapping you can do. Map. To the contained value or return, but what's the maps an option T to option U to the contained value? Yes, that's what I thought. Map n lang, see? But why does it get? What does get string return? Maybe I'm getting this wrong. An optional tuple. Right. That's what I thought. So I get it. I map it. I map it. Yeah, that should totally work. Map or applies a function to the contained value or returns a default. Okay, that's just that. Good. Map or else. Contained value or computes a default. I see. Okay, or into a result T, mapping some to okay and none to is. That's interesting. Okay or else. Okay, that's cool. It's all very cool and nice. And Otherwise returns option B. Or yeah, anyway, I'm still thinking that this should work, but it tells me maybe I should start at the beginning. Cargo error is not implemented. Attempted tuple for box new. Yeah, that's fine. We need display. Attempted tuple. Yeah, I should. I think it's just about display, huh? Yeah, I think so. So attempted tuple index 0 on type core option. And then we have a tuple, but the type was not a tuple struct. Yeah. The type is an optional, which makes no sense to me. Get string. Oh. Sure. Because this is a result type here. So yeah, the try has to come first. Try this, then we map it, because that will yield the OK result. Then we map it, and then it will be what we want it to be. Along these lines, I guess. So, show me. This should be a bit better now. Ambiguous associated type. Specify the type using the syntax. Oh. Non-blocking as ref. I think that's also what we want. Cool, that's much better. So now I think it's just this one that's left. So the trait convert from string is not implemented for type cargo error. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Probably just display what's needed here. But yeah, that's kind of the API that I imagine. We use the lock kind to then define what we or decide on what we want. And create the specified lock. Yeah. That is what we need. And of course we will change stuff at will. And think about that real well. Yeah. But shit. Good. So I think we have to implement display first and then we see. So we will do this in the next session. Thanks for watching and have a good day.